with comedian Dave Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So it's all happening today. I woke up at 3 fucking a.m. Just ping! Couldn't get back to sleep. Had to work. It's been a long fucking day. I also couldn't get back to sleep because I fucking opened my phone and looked at Bitcoin's price. And things aren't looking too good, but also things aren't looking too good for anything at the moment. So it's all good. As long as everything's fucking shitting the bed, it's all good. I listened to 2 podcasts today at work because a lot of Trump supporters have been saying these 2 particular podcasts are amazing. Amazing vision from these 2 people from the Trump administration. So I listened to them, and if I wasn't worried about America before, I certainly am now. It was Scott Bessent, who is a former hedge fund manager and the current Secretary of the Treasury, and Howard Lutnick, who is just a billionaire. That's what they call him. He's a billionaire. An eccentric billionaire. And he is the Secretary of Commerce. And Lutnick, if there is someone who has a comparable ego to Donald Trump, then it's Lutnick. And the podcast these 2 guys were on was the All In podcast with that Indian dude and the fucking dude with the lisp. And those 2 are just fucking yes man pussy shills as well. Just throwing softball questions, giggling. It's all billionaires now just giggling. Just enchanting each other with fucking anecdotes and stories and giggling. Like $11 trillion have been wiped off the stock market just in the US. The world fucking stock market is tanking. Lutnick, this fucking shyster fucking tycoon, this guy just couldn't stop fucking bragging about himself for fucking 2 hours. It was fucking revolting. And everything he was saying was just absolute fucking dog shit. Like, it all sounded great, but if you fucking scratch the surface on any of it, it's just absolute dog shit. And then you find out later that his company, Cantor Fitzgerald, has a huge leverage position on US bonds, which basically means if everything shits the bed, this cunt, who's like the right-hand man, who basically chose Donald Trump's entire cabinet, this cunt makes billions and billions of dollars. So that 11 trillion that got wiped out of pension funds and fucking all sorts of shit, well, this cunt's going to make billions on top of his current billions. But it was just a masterclass on this podcast of saying pretty things with absolutely no substance and just dog shit. It's horse shit. Bessent's a little bit different. Bessent is a legitimate guy, but he was sort of stuttering through most of it. And I've seen him in other interviews. As soon as he gets like questioned or a hardball question, or as soon as you scratch the surface, he starts stuttering and mumbling and he's unsure of what's going on. Same with Lutnick. It's just these 2 fucking queers. I don't even know if they're queers. I think one of them is. He has a lisp, so that's 90% of the way. But one of them's like an Indian guy, so obviously he's not going to rage against power. Anyway, they just giggled the whole way through. Didn't mention how everything's going down the shitter. How even Nvidia is down 40% since Trump got into fucking office. Even Lutnick in this, I think it's the All In podcast, Lutnick was saying Donald Trump's playing 3D chess. That's what he said like several times. He's like, he's playing 3D chess. And I just wanted to say, listen, cunt, it's 4 or 5D chess. 3D chess is just normal chess, you fucking stupid cunt. 5D chess is you making moves on moves. And it's amazing the excuses. It's just so amazing how people will fucking just defend every single move, no matter what cost. I also spend way too much time on Twitter, and I need to get the fuck off Twitter. But one guy was like, I don't know if this is such a great time to be negotiating when when the stock market has just been annihilated and $11 trillion been wiped off it. And then someone under his comment is like, it's the perfect time. It shows strength. It shows that we're serious. I'm like, what? What does that mean? Anyway, Bitcoin will be fine, but it's starting to look shaky for absolutely everything. It's going to be so interesting to see what happens in the morning. While I'm asleep, I'll fucking wake up a little bit early just in case Bitcoin goes, I would look at like 72. 72, I would be willing to make some fucking drastic decisions. Pick up a little bit of biddy. Anyway, I'm fucking so sick of talking about Trump. I'm over it. He's playing 3D chess. You mean chess? Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing I'm fucking getting over as well. Is every single person who is like part of Trump's like cabinet or his entourage or something like that has a Trump anecdote that just makes him seem even bigger than life. Like I'm reading about fucking Stalinist Russia at the moment, and there are definitely some similarities. I'm not talking about like the murderous fucking bullshit yet. I'm talking about like the cult of personality that was Joseph Stalin, and the way people talked about him, the way you were forced to talk about him at down the barrel of a gun. But everyone has a fucking Trump anecdote now that makes him into some mythic creature. And you listen to it and you're like, oh, that's not true. And that's not even amazing either. But people will be like, fucking, he's a physical powerhouse. And you look at him, you're like, he looks like he eats a lot of cheeseburgers. He looks 80 and he looks like he eats a lot of fucking cheeseburgers. And they're like, his stamina, he can just run. Like, he can lift things as well. I once saw him lift a mini wagon off a child. He was driving past in his motorcade and saw a child was under a minivan and stopped, and 15 secret security guys walk over and they try and lift this minivan off the kid, and they couldn't do it. 15 of them combined couldn't do it. And then Donald Trump gets out of the car, asks them all to move aside, and then lifts it, one arm, lifts it up. The kid survives. Donald Trump pays his university tuition, finds out his mum is struggling to pay the rent. She works at Wendy's, finds out where she works, buys that Wendy's, makes her the manager, buys her a house. After all this, he installs a fucking push-up bar in the house. The day he hands over the keys, rips out 50 fucking pull-ups in one go. This is the man we're talking about. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. I need to get off fucking Twitter. That's what I need to do. It's so hard though. It is very hard. I might even have to go to fucking like Blue Sky or something. Isn't that where all the fucking woke freaks are as well? Where are the normal people? Where are the non-fucking woke freaks and the non-fucking just delusional Trump supporters? Anyway, I need to get to fucking bed, but I've got an Ask Boyle. I forgot it. Should I fuck it off? Nah, I didn't do it last week, so I'll do a fucking Ask Boyle. I can't be fucked doing it, but I will do it. Anyway, fucking, it's time. It's Ask Boyle time. If you have a question you would like answered by one of the greatest minds of generation level, Boyle, head my website, boylecomedy.com. There's a section there for Ask Boyle. You can ask me a question. I'm happy to answer, but fucking send me in some stories while you're there. Anyway, here's the question for this week. So this is a listener. She's from Southern California and she's in Australia at the moment, touring around. And she wants to know why there is such a big cultural difference between Aussies keeping to themselves and Americans never keeping to themselves. She's talking at bars, like she's going out to bars at the moment and she's bringing her Southern California energy, and the Aussies are resisting it. So she wants to know why Aussies are so reserved and Americans are not. So, well, you've come to the right place. Well, she seems to think it's because in America you have the chairs at the bar. So you can just rock up to any bar in America and just sit at the bar. And some other lonely cunts are going to be there. So you can strike up a conversation at any bar in America. And that is one of the cool things. And I think that does open you up a bit. Americans are definitely more fucking open to having a yarn at the bar. That's just not in the Australian drinking culture. So there's that. And one of the other things is like Australians are more or less very reserved and very insular until they get fucking spastic. So like if you're trying to strike up a conversation with an Aussie before they've had like maybe 8, 10, 12 drinks, it's difficult. They need to be in the mood. They need to be blind drunk, especially with a stranger. Like, fucking, that's tough. That's tough for an Australian. We don't have the seats at the bar, so you also have to penetrate into a group. So mainly you just go out with people and you sit at your own table. So if you're going to make friends or have a chat to someone, you need to somehow penetrate that table, and that's difficult. I don't know how you do it actually. I just used to get as drunk as I possibly could. That was always the goal, and then I'd just let things happen, and things always happen. Eventually, if you sit in one spot drinking long enough, eventually someone speaks to you. Eventually you strike up a conversation with anyone, really. But it isn't really like the sit at the bar, have a chat to the bartender, tip them, build a community at the bar, on the chairs at the bar. There's none of that. And also, you're American, you've got a high-pitched American voice, you're probably annoying the shit out of everyone, plus Trump. The economy of the entire world is fucking fallen to shit because of Trump. And you're like, hey guys, I'm from America. And just like, oh God. Ugh. Tell me about your country. Shut up. I've only had 6, come back in 4. But generally Australians are a bit more quiet and reserved. Until we get fucking shit-faced. We're not loud. There's the tall poppy syndrome, so you got to shut the fuck up. We're just not like that social unless we've popped a couple of caps and we're like fucking 14 beers in. Then you can get a conversation out of us. But until then, we're looking at the screen, we're having a punt, we're slapping the pokes. We're just not that interested in what other people are doing or have to say. Anyway, enjoy your time in Australia. We're a very friendly people. Just hang in there. You'll find some fucking friends. Anyway, fucking that'll do it for tonight, and I'll see you the fuck later.